and I'm from Karavi. And Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In the news tonight, Ratu Ebenisa explains reason for re-election call. Suva City, a ghost town last night. And grace period for styrofoam ban begins today.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party president has revealed to FBC News that he had doubted the ability of opposition leader Ratu Naingama Lalambalavu to lead them in parliament. In a press conference yesterday, FBC News questioned Ratu Ebenisa Vakumbao on what led him to call for another re-election for opposition leader after Ratu Naingama was chosen by the opposition caucus. Ebenisa Wangarandova reports Ratu Ebenisa had initially congratulated the new leader when he was chosen. However, 2 days later, he filed a letter to the Speaker of Parliament for re-nomination.
For the first time, the SUDELPA president revealed his reasons behind submitting the letter to the Speaker of Parliament to have Ratu Naingama replaced.
I had congratulated him for taking up the position as the opposition leader. There was doubt within me how the process was done. So that is why I had written a letter to the Speaker.
Ratu Ebenisa says he is still waiting for a response from the Speaker of Parliament.
And we'll just have to wait on what the Speaker comes up with the letter which I had sent.
With issues crippling the party, SUDELPA leader William Avoka says members are free to express their concern and raise grievances.
SUDELPA is a democratic party. We are not afraid to engage in any kind of dialogue. People can raise whatever they want to raise. We will meet it with the way a democratic people meet it, dialogue, resolutions.
The latest affair of the party has now seen some members seeking legal redress against position holders within SUDELPA and how legal meetings have been carried out in the party, including the recent party AGM. Ebenisa Wangarandova, FBC News.
The New Year's Eve has never been so quiet, says Acting Commissioner of Police Rusiati Tundravu. The Acting Commissioner says that the capital city felt like a ghost town at midnight last night compared to the past years of police operations. He and senior officers were out on street parole last night. Tundravu adds 2020 was a challenging year for everyone. While thanking Fijians for adhering to the curfew restrictions, he's urging everyone to continue observing the restrictions. The Acting Police Commissioner stresses that police will not arrest those with proper documentation for moving about during curfew hours or anyone facing medical emergency.
We have noticed a lot of change of minds and attitude as people do take care that the national curfew is in place. However, having said that, there are still people that do not have that care to know that this is done for the safety of all of us in order for us to be in line with the requirements of the Ministry of Health.
As the tropical cyclone Yasa damage assessment continues, Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum says the focus is on assisting rural communities to get back on track with a sustainable livelihood. The government is expected to announce a recovery package soon to help those severely affected by TC Yasa. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Economy Minister who visited TC Yasa affected areas says assisting affected farmers is critical at this stage.
It's about providing assistance in respect of the crop damage that's taken place and how we're going to rehabilitate that. And at the moment, the Ministry of Sugar together with the Ministry of Agriculture, they've had meetings yesterday. So looking at a holistic package as to what can be done. It's not just simply about early cane payment, it's also about providing or ensuring that they will be able to harvest or recover some of the crops that were damaged into the next year's crushing season. That's more important.
The package is expected to be announced soon. The Minister for Economy adds various teams are still carrying out the damage assessment.
The actual assessment is being carried out by the team in Vanua Levu through NDMO. and then he'll have a much more fuller picture. Of course, ministries like agriculture, waterways, NDMO, and of course education. They're carrying out these specific assessments. So won't be prudent to give any sort of specific figure regarding that, but we'll get more specifics regarding the actual cost of rebuild, in particular for schools and some of the other infrastructure.
He adds there has been no massive washing away of roads, but a lot of water catchment areas have been clogged up, which needs clearing. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Some restaurants in the heart of Suva have already started fading out the use of polystyrene products, with the ban's 6 months grace period beginning today. Operators say they are seeking alternatives to ensure their business is not affected once the ban is enforced. Apinisa Wangairandovu reports Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says the temporary relaxation of the ban is to help businesses get rid of current stock.
The Attorney General says awareness is already underway regarding the ban, while the import of raw materials for manufacturing polystyrene products is already banned.
This next few weeks, of course, there will be a lot of publicity around that, because we need to gear people up to, psychologically being aware that they should not use styrofoam, at least come 1st of August.
The Hare Krishna vegetarian restaurant bought their last stock just before 2020 ends and is already looking at alternatives.
We have decided to stop buying the styrofoam materials from November. Stop from then, and we are seeking some alternatives.
Kota Joan Anita Devi, while looking forward to supporting the move by the government, is concerned about the alternative form of packaging available.
There should be something like cardboard seal containers, and it should be nicely done so that we can pack something liquid stuff, so it can be there shouldn't be any leakage.
Retailers, suppliers and distributors will be allowed to exhaust their current stock by the end of July 2021. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum said the initiative is critical as most chemicals present in these products are not environmentally friendly. Apinisa Wangairandovu, FBC News.
Up ahead, ADF personnel to join RFMF next Friday. And parents welcome bundle of joy.
Hi, I'm Ini from Raki Raki. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Australian Defence Force vessel HMAS Adelaide will remain in a cordoned-off area near Ngaloa Island in Bua until the 600 personnel on board complete their 14 days COVID-19 quarantine period. Commissioner Northern Division Urai Rainima says the men will be there until January 8th when the quarantine period finishes. 6 days has been covered when they were sailing to Fiji, leaving Brisbane on December 24th and arriving in Fiji on the 30th. Rainima says the ADF personnel are scheduled to build the temporary school facility for Ngaloa Island Primary School before the move to mainland Wanoa Levu. The HMAS Adelaide is carrying specialized personnel, equipment and provisions including 4 helicopters, 4 landing crafts and additional small boats, Army engineer and construction teams, a primary healthcare team and a small boat platoon.
We have set a target that we hand over the school facilities to the Ministry of Education by the 11th of January. So that is our target. Engineers, RFMF engineers are currently working on some of the schools around the mainland.
It was a joyous day for some mothers in Suva today as they welcomed their newborns on New Year's Day. This new year didn't just rush in a new beginning. For some, it welcomes them to parenthood, while others enjoyed a new addition to their family. Jeshu Lal was at the CWM hospital today and files this report.
One mother in particular did not expect to give birth at the stroke of midnight, welcoming a healthy baby boy, a bundle of joy for Swaranlata and her new family.
And feel blessed to have him delivered on the New Year's, and I'm thankful to God for giving us our little bundle of joy, and It's a big happiness for our family.
32-year-old Lata says being able to hold her newborn baby on New Year is of great significance as she begins her new journey through motherhood. Krishnil Das, the father of the newborn, says he is blessed to welcome their little bundle of joy on this special day.
I really feel proud to have our first baby boy on 1st of January 2021, and it's indeed a blessing for our family, and we are really happy for this.
It was also a happy celebration for 21-year-old Fane Takayawa, who gave birth to her second baby boy, gifting her elder son with a brother this morning.
My family, his father is very proud, and he's very happy to have him. On New Year's Eve, it's a boy. I was expecting a girl, yeah.
Both the babies weigh 3.9 and 4.0 kg respectively, and both are yet to be named. Meanwhile, UNICEF had estimated that around 150 babies will be born in the Pacific on New Year's Day. Jeshu Lal, FBC News.
While many Fijians may be celebrating New Year with their loved ones, some are sacrificing their family time for an income to prepare their children for school. However, back-to-school shopping is not the only concern, as some chose to sell their produce today as they struggle to make ends meet with COVID-19 affecting their livelihood. Dipesh Kumar reports.
Mere mga mother, a familiar face at the Suva Municipal Market, says she chose to spend her New Year at the market with hopes of collecting enough in time for her grandchildren's education.
I come here to sell flour to support my grandson for his education.
Retired school teacher Fane Kadimaiwa is also among those spending their New Year at work as she tries to make ends meet.
Since we are having a very tough economic depression all throughout the world, I think celebrating New Year is one of the norms. We've been doing it for so many years. And what we can do, we just celebrate it as like a normal day, just for the survival of our families. I think we have to carry on as it is.
For others, selling on New Year is a personal choice as they work towards achieving their plans for this year.
My goals, I want to buy one car for me this year. So that's my plan that's why I'm running my business every day. I'm doing marketing for Monday until Saturday.
For many people, New Year brings with it new commitment and resolution. However, for these market vendors, it is an opportunity to earn money and provide for their family. Dipesh Kumar, FBC News.
The United Nations, the World Food Organization, and the Ministry of Agriculture are addressing food security in the Northern Division. The initial damage assessment indicates the agriculture sector in the north was severely affected. Jeshu Lal reports.
The United Nations is deploying resources to help farmers get back on their feet as soon as possible.
A number of these people who are working in the north are either farmers or informal laborers, some of them working on farms. They depend on crops which have been largely destroyed, sugarcane, rice. A number of people have lost their goats and their sheep. So we need to make sure that food rations or some sort of cash assistance goes to these people over the next 2-3 months.
The majority of people who have been affected by TC Yasa are either commercial farmers or rely on fresh produce for their meals. Samarasina says food security cannot be compromised at a critical time like this.
The Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Food Programme to work closely with the government to ensure that seedlings and livestock are provided to those families so that they are food secure over the next few months, and then they will have some crops thereafter.
The Agriculture Ministry has already begun distributing seedlings and other essentials so that those affected can return to their farms.
Indication of the level of impact that the damage the farmers have actually sustained, both in volume and value. At the same time, the teams will be assisting the farmers who have been impacted, and our aim is to actually get back on track.
A lot of the salvaged produce has already been bought by the Agro Marketing Authority, reducing wastage and putting some money in farmers' pockets. Jeshu Lal, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, Suva Rugby praises club competition and more women participation in cricket. This and more coming up.
I'm Vinal Prakash है गोल्टन तामो में रहता है और सबको रेडियो फीजी 2 सुने सबको लाइक करे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
The key for the Suva Rugby Union's impressive three successive wins in the Skipper Cup competition is its club competition. Suva Rugby Union is one of the largest provincial union in Fiji with more than 50 clubs and has over the years brought out some of the best players in both 7s and 15s. SRU Secretary Tevita Tuiloa says by having a strong foundation through its club competition, they will have a pool of players to pick from for the senior team. Tuiloa adds Suva is setting its sights on winning the Fair Brother Trophy this year.
The standard of club rugby here in Suva, especially with the competition for the first 25 really tight for the provincial team. So any player that misses out on the 25 goes back and represent their club, and that has really lifted the standard of club competition.
2020 cricket season was not so eventful compared to an average year in terms of competition played locally. Although Cricket Fiji was able to host some local tournaments like the Association Cup and the league competition, most of the major tournaments were cancelled. However, something good came out of cricket this year. The number of women participating in sport increased significantly. Karlaini Tavi with the details.
With more women showing interest in the sport, Cricket Fiji has realized there is more potential and talents in local communities.
The quantity that we've got this year has been actually quite good. We've never seen numbers like this for women's cricket ever in Fiji. But it's driven us to know that out there's a lot more elite athletes that can easily jump in and adapt to the game.
Cricket Fiji will be focusing on ensuring gender equality this year to help elevate the standard of the sport.
The management team, the board and the development team and I are looking to have the same opportunities that's available for the men, that have always been available for the men, available for the women as well. So basically giving any female at any age the chance of being able to play for Fiji at any age group.
The first cricket match for this year will begin next Saturday, and young women are ready to get back on the pitch for the Club League tournament.
The numbers that have been attending so far, it's been encouraging as well to the coaches as well in terms of their eagerness to learn these new skills. And hopefully when we start with our league on the 9th of January, next Saturday, we will see an improvement in all these areas of skills.
Cricket Fiji is working closely with officials to have these women go through the training program for their high-performance unit. Karlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
Touch Federation Fiji has begun groundworks for the 2023 Pacific Games. The Federation is now focusing on the upcoming elite competition next month. Touch Fiji is currently ranked 3rd after scooping the bronze medal in the 2019 Pacific Games. President Tevita Mau says their plan is to move the country up the ranks in the upcoming meet.
Respective affiliates, they run their own comp. For us, the preparation of this franchise is one of it, and there's further plans down the line. As we gear up towards 2023, there's a lot of work that's been done now. It's all geared towards 2023 because 2023 is World Cup year for us, and also the Pacific Games.
Former Lautoka football coach Ravinesh Kumar is now the new Nandi coach. This has been confirmed to FBC Sports by Nandi FA Vice President Max Chetty. Kumar replaces Kamal Swami, who is expected to be the new Mba coach. Kumar, who is Fiji's only A-licensed accredited coach, stepped down from his role as head coach of Lautoka in October after being appointed in July. Making the cut to participate in any Olympic event would be the pinnacle of success for any athlete. This is also the target for 19-year-old Moana Wind, a Fijian swimmer who has been creating waves in the local swimming competitions. Karlaini Tavi reports that the 19-year-old is among the 8 Fijian swimmers vying for a spot for this year's Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan.
Although her immediate goal is to compete in the Olympic Games, her outstanding performance in local arena has earned her recognition and a scholarship offer to study at Lincoln University in California, USA.
Fiji Swimming has given me scholarships, and with their help and them investing in me, kind of makes me want to push myself. If I do go to the Olympics, if not, it's fine. I have another scholarship to go to the States for school, so I'm looking forward to that if the borders do open.
Seasoned swimmer Cheyenne Rover, while acknowledging Wind's performance, says young swimmers have been giving them a run for their money in many competitions.
All the young swimmers coming up and racing here at Open Nationals, it's not easy being the oldest, but we all train together, and to have them as my teammates here pushing me, it's been great.
As an experienced swimmer, Rover says it is critical for young and upcoming swimming champions to manage their time wisely.
My advice is to balance everything out. Balance your swimming life and your social life, or life outside of swimming.
While the competition for an Olympic spot continues, 11 Fijian swimmers have also qualified for the Oceania Championship in Fiji this year. Karlaini Tavi, FBC Sports.
Cloudy conditions with rain and showers was expected over most parts of the country today. Looking at the west, cloudy condition with brief showers in the afternoon. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, it was a cloudy day with scattered showers over most parts. And up north, it was also cloudy with periods of rain. At sea, east to northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. Turning to the tides, the next high tide is at 9:05 tonight, with low tide at 3:38 tomorrow. Sunrise is at 6:34. For tomorrow, occasional rain, heavy at times, and a few thunderstorms over Kandavu and nearby smaller islands, the Lau and Lomaiviti groups. Occasional showers and isolated thunderstorms over the southern half of Viti Levu, increasing to rain from later today. Outlook for Sunday, occasional rain and isolated thunderstorms over most places. Recapping the main stories, Ratu Epinisa explains reason for re-election call, Suva City a ghost town last night, and grace period for styrofoam ban begins today. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, are you looking forward to borders reopening? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook and Twitter accounts. That's your news for tonight. From the FBC family and I would like to wish you all a happy and prosperous 2021.
कुमार सानी नायक है गोंगवा लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।